What's up, peeps? Hey, man, this big battle, man. We got Jay, we got Chris with a K. Ty is not going to be on today. Neither is Steven. Sorry for being late, folks, man. We had a heated discussion about, Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. You saw K-Dot just dropped that bomb yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Put Drake in the spot, dog. Put Drake in his spot, man. 6
you
minutes.
You just doing that now to troll Chris, man.
Oh, my God. Hey, I cannot wait. I cannot wait until Drake drops his. No, I don't care about the album. I don't. This is beef.
Then that lets me know.
I don't care about the album. I cannot wait until Drake drops his track. This is gonna be. This is hip hop. It's hip hop. But anyways, guys, it's football time. We're talking about the SEC Connect. We got people on here. Chicken 1515 says that like BS. Anyways, Chicken, what's up, baby?
Just say Nino. Hey, you say Boomer Sooner, I'll say the other one for you.
No.
Come on. Trade for a trade.
No, man. No.
You know that. You know I'm good for it, though.
No, man. You
of all people.
There? You see right there, man? My damn degree says the university, you know what I'm talking about. So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, child, please.
Sorry for your loss.
Child, please. Too much money went to that damn thing for me to say something else.
That's true. You better rep it. Shit, you pay for it.
Raymond goes, wouldn't be. Hey, you're right, man. We're always late, but today we were actually early. But we just got into a heated discussion. We would never guess that our homeboy Chris is. Man, Chris, we love you, dog. We love you, Chris. We love you, Chris. Chicken also goes to my favorite brother down south. You know it.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
All right, Famunda, that word again. You know what I'm saying?
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah. Jamarcus Jones. What time we going live? Jamarcus, I know we late, man, but look, we in right now. Corey Peacock goes, damn, 3 live Texas shows on right now. This isn't a Texas show. This is the SEC Connect show. We talk everything Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, Florida.
LSU,
LSU. If it is
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, even Vanderbilt, man.
A little love, man.
Drake Stoops, huh? Hey, Chris, you said Drake Stoops going to get drafted before Jordan Whittington, right?
Hey, look, he might.
I'm just saying.
Hell, you get drafted in the 6th round, it don't matter. Hey, that boy is probably in a bad situation anyways. He'll be back in Austin. Don't worry. He'll be.
I bet you Drake Stoops wish he was drafted.
Oh no, he in a perfect spot up there with the Rams.
Perfect spot.
Boy, he'll be there.
He's gonna be behind the draft pick. He's gonna be behind the draft pick.
He'll be coaching tight ends next year.
No, who? Drake Stoops?
Nah,
he gonna follow his daddy and coach.
I don't know what Whittington is catching in the league.
I know what Stoops gonna do. He ain't gonna be at there with the dog
after the game. But go ahead. What's the first topic, man? What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm going through this comment real quick. Hold on, quick. All right, Stephen G. And thank y'all for waiting for Don to commit. Is killing me. I know Don. When is he gonna commit, folks?
Tomorrow. The anticipation is tomorrow. Today is the decision they're gonna make. Supposedly. Now, I don't think there's going to actually be an announcement like, live show or anything like that. He's going to probably just drop a graphic sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably going to be like a top 3.
I don't think that. I really think he's going to actually drop. I think he's going to drop the real deal and just be like,
who do you think it's going to be, man? Who do you think it's going to be?
You don't want to hear this, man.
Who, LSU or Texas?
Oklahoma.
You think it's going to be Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Very interesting. That's the best part about it is, right?
Nobody knows.
Is that because nobody really knows on the surface, right? I know that his people are talking to a lot of people. I know that his people have talked to at least 3 of the schools. I know they've talked to Texas, Oklahoma, and LSU. They just left LSU, so they don't technically count. You know what I'm saying? But upon leaving, I know they've talked to Oklahoma and Texas, right?
Yeah,
that's everything that's been reported. There's conversations of meetings happening, before the final decision and all of that. So my anticipation is today he's going to decide. Tomorrow they put it out there where he's going to go and get it over with. But the best part about this has been one of the most dramatic recruitments without drama that I've seen ever. Like they literally told you what they were going to do and they did it.
That's true.
I love that. Now we're just losing our minds to lose our minds when technically we should just let the man have his process. He wasn't heavily recruited out of high school because he was technically undersized and was really overlooked as a 3-star. Gets to TCU, shows out, starts 30 games roughly, started as a freshman, started all games last year. And because of that, now you're starting to see, oh, snap. People really want the dude. And now that he gets the opportunity to go through a recruiting process, he took advantage of it. And to be honest, I'm not mad at him for it. Get your flowers. Get your flowers now because you didn't get him as a recruit.
So
give me that.
I heard I heard that he went down there to the 40 acres, found a stall, did number 2, and then he kept going to LSU. Didn't even stop for a visit. Said, "Nah,
Child,
y'all
please.
boys ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for talent to be
It's
here."
funny you say
But
that, but last time
how do you
we
feel
had 2
about?
defensive linemen drafted in the first rounds this year.
Okay,
I'm just
yes,
saying.
thank you. It's been 14 years, but
I
anyways,
mean, hey, man, live in the
how does
past
it
all you want.
feel? How does it feel? Yeah, it's been 14 years since y'all can say that.
Live
But
in the
anyways,
past all you want. I'm
how
talking
does
about
it?
right
How
now.
does it feel? And the word is going
Right
around here.
now.
He's probably gonna be 3 years and out. That boy gut. But anyways,
Who?
what I was trying to say is, how
Who
do
gonna
you
be 3
feel
years and
about
out?
that dynamic now? How do you feel about recruiting against Bo Davis? Is there any advantage that he has being at LSU recruiting over you guys or whatnot?
No.
Being able to say like, "Hey,
No,
look,
no,
I'm
no, no, no.
responsible for all of that."
Bo
Because I mean,
Davis was
he
a
is.
Bo Davis was a hell of a developer of talent. The big knock on Bo Davis was his recruiting. That was the big knock on him.
That was
Could he
y'all
close
didn't
it?
knock him for that.
That was the big knock on him was could he recruit? We all know that he can develop. And like words around was that he hated recruiting, right? And so, he's just from talking to just a few of the guys who came to the 40 because of him, he's a very personable person. But Bo Davis did not like to recruit. Now, Kenny Baker, like I got this comment up here, he is at Dom's home tonight. Right. And he's with Sark right now. So it shows you that they are looking at this as a top guy to get in this transfer portal. And so now it's going to be, can they convince him with the last, visit? Because them coming in this late is basically kind of telling that they're not in the number 1 position, right? And so they're trying to sway. So this is going to be big here for Texas with Kenny Baker, because Kenny Baker is a guy that came from the NFL and he was an assistant D-line coach, right? And so he comes to Texas, but they say he's very energetic. The kids like him. The players love him. So can he reel in his first big target here at Texas? So I'm not worried about recruiting against Bo Davis. My thing about Bo Davis is he's in the perfect spot at LSU, because when you're in like in that state, you don't have to really go recruit players in that state. They want to come to LSU. They grow up bleeding.
It's a voodoo, man.
It's more about,
but
I think the biggest thing he has, if there was an advantage, would be necessity. Because obviously you guys need one, but I think you guys can go and grab other guys simply because the established coach there. Not saying that Brian Kelly isn't that, but I think that Bo Davis can say, "Hey, look, literally, we just need somebody to be here because we don't really have a pulse in that room right now," right? So I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting dynamic, seeing if you guys were worried about recruiting against him now since he's at LSU, which obviously LSU is still a big brand out there.
Oh yeah, I mean not just a big brand. It's one of the biggest brands in the country. It just is what it is. They're a top. You can argue a top 5 to 7 brand in the country. LSU is LSU, especially when it comes to football. But Bo's going to be great there, man. I think everybody understands him going to LSU. He's been there before. The talent's going to fall in his lap. It's weird because that state is a very poor state. Anybody that knows me, I grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana, grew up like poor as hell. Like that state is poor, man. Like we are a very poor state. A lot of kids don't have money to go to camps and stuff, man. They can't go to Rivals camp and 247 and on 3 camps. They just don't, they don't have money to do it. Trust me, I got 2 cousins that played at a small 2A school. One's at Colorado now, and the other one got offers from like 30 schools. You know what I'm saying? So, they couldn't really afford to go to these camps. So you get talent that are 4 and 5 star guys that never get that 4-star. They're 3-star guys because coaches don't see them, and coaches are lazy now. They don't recruit like they used to and go to a small town and go see a kid ball out. Right? They don't do it no more. Yeah, they only see kids that come to camps.
But that's everywhere, especially when BV and staff got here. I think Jay would agree with me. I mean, when they got here, that was really the first time in probably a long time that you've seen real true evaluations go out to go and look at kids. Really, the only great evaluation I would say, and maybe I'm wrong. Jay, correct me if I'm wrong. But the only great evaluation I would say Grinch did while he was here was probably Danny Stutzman going to get a 3-star out of Florida. That you're like, hey, this kid is probably a high 4-star, maybe even a 5-star in other states. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I really think that it really boils down to that. So definitely get what you're saying. I think for Dominique Williams, man, I don't know, man. I think OU really made it hard. I think OU has been really aggressive, which you were hoping, simply because two things. One, last fall, whenever the portal opened, that time, Jay will tell you, it's very stagnant, very slow. Nobody was aggressive, anything. We were all like, what are we doing? Should we be moving? Should we not be moving? But two, I think necessity as well. I think we need to add a piece like that to really bolster that D line like we want. But no, I like OU's odds, but LSU would be a close. I would say they're probably 1B if we're 1A right now. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm still bullish on us with it. I'm a homer, just like just like you, Chris. We're homers in our capacity. But if I look at the true objectives on it, the toughest thing is the Bo Davis piece, right? And the reason I say that is because Bo has a relationship with the handler. No, not development. He has a relationship with the handler.
Yeah.
And LSU desperately needs defensive linemen right now. Like they're as desperate as you. Actually, I think they're more desperate than what Texas is right now, right? Our problem is we're young on the defensive line. We got one doing this. Well, we got Lole as well, who just transferred in from Louisville. Now he's helping with Deion Terry, but we're very young on the interior with Jackson and Stone. And all the guys from the 24 class. We need more of an adult to help with their development, right? We all know experience always trumps a lot of stuff on the field, especially those that have been there to see all the stuff that people throw at you. So for me, I think what makes LSU the big challenger, like Missouri, I didn't think Missouri was ever actually in it. I think Missouri was just him going to go do a visit, right?
But they're great school though, man. I mean, I think they're gonna have a really good team this year. They're gonna have a good team this year.
They were solid this year. I'll give them that. I don't really,
and Dom is one and done, right? He's one and done.
He had 2 years left.
He got 2 years. All right.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He's a sophomore. He's classified right now as a sophomore, so he's got 2 years. He came in 22, so which shocked me, to be absolutely honest. Like, dang,
I don't know. I don't know why I thought he was a little older than that.
No, he's a true grade as well. I thought he was a grad, but no, he's a true graded sophomore. So played the 2 years that he's been in, and so because of that, he'll be good. But I don't think Missouri was legitimate. Now LSU, I think it's legit. I think Texas is legit. I think Oklahoma were legit for him. Now the question is where does he really where does he want to play? Because I don't think NIL is going to be the factor in any of this. Truly honest, because I think
that's my next question.
I think all three teams are going to pony up. They're not playing. You can tell with the way that the pressure feels like it's been in this. Like I said, this has been a dramatic recruiting without any drama from him. Like he's just said, I've done my visits, take a few pictures, show a video to her here or there, and then I keep going, right? The handler has done more, but he's done what he said he was going to do. And it appears that every school, and like you said, Texas is going in for a visit now, so that means it's a last second, hey, we'll up the NIL money, meaning everybody's playing in the NIL game.
Yeah.
Nobody's out for NIL. It's going to be more than NIL to win his services, right? And that's what it fully appears to me based upon what you say.
And also, though, you got to look at, too, some of these kids, the final NIL number is not a problem for them, right? Like, they don't care, right? You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, if one school's offering $500K NIL, another school's offering $350 or $400, right? I mean, it all depends on the kid, right? It's about fit and where they want to be. And, $500,000 in Austin might be equivalent to $350 in Oklahoma or $350 in Baton Rouge, or $400 in Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
you're right.
It all depends on where the kid feels comfortable too. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very interesting, man. My only thing with him is he can come in right away at LSU and play because their defense was hot garbage last year, right?
Exactly. The necessity. They need a
hot garbage. But this is my thing. Do you want to go to a defense that was hot garbage last year? Or do you want to play at Texas or Oklahoma that had some pretty damn good defenses last year? You know what I'm saying? Especially on the defensive line, right? So both schools kind of offer the opportunity for you to show your talent, but not have to be the guy to go out there and beat it 24/7, right?
Be the only dude, right?
You be the only guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so now once you're the only guy, like a la Harold Perkins, right? But I ain't gonna say that because they had Smith last year too, which I think he got drafted a little too high, on Friday. But
I don't know, man. Look, the potential for that kid outweighs everything. He's just been, injured and just silly stuff just happened to him. But the Wingo kid was obviously he kind of went low too, but obviously he was undersized. So
So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But look, frightening truth. Great comment here. Bo and LSU is gonna be a rough matchup for everyone in the SEC. I totally agree.
I don't know because
he's gonna have to recruit, Chris. He's gonna get the LSU.
Here's the thing that you're forgetting. When does LSU finally get tired of this Brian Kelly stuff? Because at some point they probably are.
No, I mean, think about what Brian Kelly just did.
He overstays his welcome. He's a coach that you normally overstays his welcome.
I would agree. I don't think LSU will have that problem, and I don't say that.
Either.
Well, the thing about what happens to coaches at LSU is either you go to the NFL or you do something stupid to where you have to get fired, right? Question is, will Brian Kelly be stupid enough to do what Ed Orgeron or Les Miles did to where you get forced out the door, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Brian Kelly's willing to go to that level of unethical that Les Miles did.
Yeah.
And Saban left to go to the NFL. And I don't think Brian Kelly's going to the NFL.
That's true.
Orgeron was stupid, right? He was just dumb. And I'm just going to say that out loud. He got a divorce. He got a divorce right after winning the national championship. And I saw
had girlfriends and stuff.
I saw him in Vegas with some young 20-year-olds, right? Yeah. At the same time, the dude had girls at practice calling plays.
Yeah,
he's doing stupid stuff. And I get all of that, but
I don't think Brian Kelly's that stupid though.
That's my thing is that you got a Heisman last year. You lost that coach. You lost your OC. My question is simply this, because let's just be real. They didn't have the season that they wanted to have, and they weren't a team that we all were like, yeah, they're great. Toward the end of the season, they had a bunch of highlights and stuff, but nobody thought that they were going to go up there to Ole Miss and have to win a Big 12 game, Big 12 style game like that. There were certain points in the season where you're just like, okay, well, maybe this, maybe that. And yeah, you see them go out there and put on performances against Mississippi State where you're like, okay, they got a good slap in the face. They're going to, do this and do that. But they started the season funky with Florida State, which I had them beating the hell out of Florida State. But
was that a funky start? Florida State? If they have a starting quarterback, they're playing in the playoffs. It looked bad at first. Yeah. But if they have a starting quarterback, they're a top 2 team in the country.
I get that, but man, you getting blown out by like 30, and then it was just bro. They just did not have the season. I'm like, no, we still got to factor that in. They didn't have a great season last year. They had a solid season.
Chris, I understand what you're saying, but let's look at these losses, right?
Yeah,
they lost to Florida State, which we all understand what Florida State was last year. If their quarterback doesn't get hurt, they're playing for a national championship. All right, is that fair? Is that fair?
Yeah,
okay. Right? They lost to Alabama, who played in the playoffs this year. Okay. Yeah. And they lost to Ole Miss in the nil. 55-49. It was a no defensive game, but they had 3 losses this year, man. And 2 of those losses, you can't put your head down. And they had horrible defense and lost to Alabama and Florida State. Mind you, they were large margins. Mm-hmm. We get it. We understand it. But those are like your 2 main losses. The Ole Miss game,
so they went 9-3, right?
It went 9-3 and then 10-3 with the bowl.
Yeah, and that's cool. Now, but that's what I'm saying. When it's let's not even include the bowl game. When it's 9-3, not going to be enough.
Well,
and I'm not trying to be a hypocrite because there's plenty of coaches out there doing that. But I'm just saying, when is that not going to? Because you and I both know at LSU, that's not going to.
Well, hey, 9-3 won't be, but guess what? 10-2 will, because 10-2 will get him in the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, true.
But he's got to do that.
He will.
I'm just saying,
I think he will. I think he will. Everybody has high hopes on Nussmeier, right? Yeah. Everybody has high hopes on him, right? I think. I don't. I
don't think he's going to be any good, to be honest.
I'm not going to say he's not going to be any good. It's going to be a hell of a hangover having Daniels as a Heisman. He was everything, right? But look, I think he's going to be a good quarterback in that system. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say this without dissing Daniels, right? Daniels was awesome, but once you have a guy that was electric and was the best at what he did at that position at that school for quite some time, right? Well, I think I said quite some time. He had so big guy. What's the guy's name? Burrow, right?
Yeah, Joe Burrow, yeah.
Yeah, but those 2 are the 2 most memorable quarterbacks that you had in that program for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Now, the next year, is usually going to be the fall off year. They might surprise some people, man. I don't think their schedule is like just deadly next year. You know what I'm saying? So they got an opportunity to do some damn good things. Let me pull up their schedule right quick. They got USC. They should beat USC next year. And I'm sorry, they should beat USC, right? Then you go to Nicholls State. They should beat South Carolina, right?
I'm gonna go with USC on that game now.
They should beat UCLA, right? I'm sorry, they should beat UCLA. They should beat South Alabama. You're 5-0. Ole Miss is their first test. Okay. I ain't gonna say first test. USC and UCLA are going to be tests. I think LSU should beat them. I do. Right.
I'm questioning the USC being a challenge because they've got that young quarterback. Was that Moss?
Miller Moss.
How good is Miller Moss? How good do you think Miller Moss?
I get it, but my only thing is we all know Lincoln's offense, especially at the top of the season. He's going to be geared up to play this first game against LSU.
Let me ask you guys this question because me and Ty talked about this a little bit.
They got an easy schedule, dude.
On X. So I told him, "What's up, PG?" I said to Ty, I said, "Hey, one thing that could potentially hold Lincoln back," and I think I even put you in it, Nick. I said is what Nick always says. We haven't seen Riley without a generational quarterback for a long season. Now Miller Moss was a high.
Yes, we have. We saw him with Spencer Rattler, and he won the Big 12 championship.
Oh my God! Come on,
he's not transcendent. I'm sorry. No.
Come on, man. Hey, Spencer.
He's not transcendent.
Games, Spencer let it rip that year. Spencer was showing all the potential.
Spencer's not a transcendent quarterback, and he won the Big 12 with him, and then also won the bowl game that year too, right?
We can argue about that later.
And then he lost his job to Caleb. So yeah,
and he lost his job to a transcendent quarterback.
Right.
Okay, so
I agree with you there.
Come on now. I
can't argue against that. That's true.
Yeah.
It's a very fair assessment too.
Yeah. So I mean,
but are we going to put Miller Moss on the same playing field as Spencer Rattler?
Hold on though. Is Jalen Hurts a transcendent quarterback? No, come on, answer the question, Chris. If you had to think about it, it's no.
If
you had to think about it, it's no.
It's not even NFL. You kind of lean. I mean, no.
If you had to think about it, it's no.
He's got a point. I gotta give him a point.
I know, Jay. I know you're not agreeing with this fool over.
No, I'm asking a question. With this guy. I'm asking a question.
I don't, man.
Maybe a transcendent leader,
Jalen over there, but
I think he is a transcendent leader.
I also think that second season, sophomore season, I don't know. Redshirt season, I don't know what the hell was up with Spencer. But that first year, no, he showed all the intangibles to be special. But I still would say that I don't know what Riley's going to look like this year with Miller Moss. And the biggest thing is that I don't know if Miller Moss is going to be mobile like that. I think I forgot who they didn't they play Louisville in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Which was it was a good test. It was a nice little tease of what they can do, but I don't know because mobile quarterback is really what he needs in that offense because there's a lot of improvisation that goes on, especially when they break the play down.
You know what though? It should be interesting. But hey, PG, I love you, PG. I do. We understand Jalen Hurts took a team to the Super Bowl.
But so did
Brad Johnson. So did Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson took his team to 2 Super Bowls. Was he transcendent in college? No, he was a 3rd round pick. There's a reason why he's a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
He wasn't transcendent in college, PG.
Yeah. Y'all see Oni's look at Sean's
and PG, I love you, PG. But hey, Jalen was not a transcendent quarterback, man. Sorry. He wasn't.
So I'll say this. So I argued with people throughout Jalen Hurts' career and told him
I love Jalen.
He would be a good NFL quarterback, right? He always had all the pieces, just not the physical. This is not the arm. I don't think he had the arm that did enough to make you feel the quote unquote transcendent. But I always feel like he was an NFL quarterback. Right?
Yeah, he's an NFL quarterback, but his arm deficiency in college is still showing up in the NFL now.
Okay,
that's the problem.
So he's basically Drake to y'all. Okay. Anyway, so Sean says Jalen Hurts was a one-man offense who occasionally threw.
Jay, you hear that?
That's hilarious. Okay, I get it, y'all. I get it.
You trying to say Jalen was Cam Newton? Nah,
I understand. I get it.
That Cam Newton was a one-man offense. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Look, I love Jalen. I think he's one of my favorite players to watch at Alabama. Even when he was at OU, I liked watching Jalen. And I like watching them now in the league, even though I'm a Cowboys fan. But I'm not going to sit here and call Jalen Hurts a transcendent quarterback in college. I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? He just wasn't. Transcendent for his era in college football was Joe Burrow for that year. That's transcendent.
Let's push all that back. Let's push all that back right real quick. Let's get back to the point. I think we were talking about LSU schedule. I think that and this is okay. So there's two sides of the cons. The pros, the cons are okay. I don't think anybody on here considers Miller Moss or even the UNLV transfer quarterback to be generational. We know that he's going to have some weapons out there, but we don't expect them to be just this dominant team. Now the pros are he has tried to make some strides on the defensive side of the ball with the new staff. I heard they're tackling in practice. I don't know because the spring game said differently. So, second thing,
you wrong with that, Chris.
The other
thing, that was wow.
So the other thing that you got to think about too is that when you face Lincoln, or one of the most dangerous spots to face Lincoln Riley at is in those first few games of the season. Why? Because his offense is going to stay the same, but he's going to add some wrinkles in there and some trick plays that you're just going to be like, that is the most creative thing I've seen in quite some time. It's going to happen. Yeah. And you're not going to be ready for it. That's fair. If that defense isn't ready, it's going to get nasty out there. And I'm excited to see Branch. I want to see if he's going to take it to another level because he's the type of receiver that should be there. He should be their one. He shouldn't be the gadget guy like this year. He should be the one and be going crazy all over the field.
Yeah.
Look, so this is LSU schedule, man. So you got USC first off. And look, I'm going to say LSU's going to beat USC. That's just me. I think they're going to beat them, right? They're going to beat Nicholls State. We get it. They're going to beat South Carolina, in my opinion. I think South Carolina's, they're going to take a big step back. They're losing a first-round wide receiver. They're losing Spencer. I think they take a big step back, right? UCLA, I think they beat UCLA. I do. And, of course, they beat, South Alabama. Then they got a bye week. Then they go to Ole Miss. This could be very important, this bye week here prior to Ole Miss, because they get Ole Miss at home, too. Right, so you got 2 weeks of basically practice because this is going to be a warm-up game, right? South Alabama's a warm-up game.
The Rico.
Yeah, and then you play Ole Miss, and you got them at home, right? So can they make this right? Can they make last year's loss right?
Oh, and that's probably a night game too, because that weekend, that's OU Texas that weekend, so that's a day game.
That's a day game. That's going to be
a night game.
That's going to be a night game. That's going to be a crazy game, bro. That's going to be a crazy game.
Hold on a second. Let me go look at the full schedule for that day because I think that one is a night game. That one's probably, if there's a game to watch, you find the television, you watch that one.
So this is what's going to intrigue me about that game though is Ole Miss, man, like they brought so many transfers. Ole Miss has to win this year. Like they've got to win and got to win big this year. So this is going to be on Lane too, because like we said last year, folks, does Lane Kiffin have a signature win?
I mean, no, he doesn't.
Brian Kelly has one.
Oh, okay.
Brian Kelly beat Alabama, right?
It's
First
true.
year, he got a signature win.
So I guess the question for this one is going to be for that weekend, as I'm talking crazy games, the only team that truly competes with LSU in this one is going to be Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State, USC.
Oh yeah, for the night game.
So yeah, that's your night game competition.
Hold on. Oregon and who else?
Oregon plays Ohio State in the Autzen Zoo, and then Penn State travels to USC to the Coliseum.
Okay, it's going to be LSU.
So one of the Cali games could be the night game because of it being a Cali game. But I definitely believe that's going to be Ole Miss LSU.
I think
and
so.
Both of them are undefeated too.
But so what if Ole Miss wins that game? Okay, so they're 5-1, right? They're going to beat Arkansas. They should.
Yeah. Pittman should get fired, and Petrino will be the new head coach.
They're going to beat A&M. I just don't think A&M's healthy enough. They got an off week, then they play Alabama. See, look, they're getting their bye weeks are in perfect locations, right before Ole Miss and right before Alabama. I mean, they got great off weeks, right?
I typically would agree with you there, but traveling to Gainesville Well, playing at A&M and then having a bye week before Alabama is fantastic.
It's fantastic, and you get Bama at home, you get Ole Miss at home. Those are probably your two toughest games in the schedule. You're gonna get Bama and Ole Miss at home, right?
Yeah.
And then, damn, Nick,
what?
Those are two toughest. Add a third one in there.
No. Look, I'm going down the list. As of right now, Alabama and Ole Miss are going to be their toughest games. Third toughest game is going to be Oklahoma, and they get Oklahoma at home too as well.
Yeah, and that's going to probably be a night game because it's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, so
because you'll have Thanksgiving games. Are you all playing? It should be
A&M
around for y'all to play Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So y'all in the Egg Bowl will be Thanksgiving. Golly.
Oh, that's gonna do. We're getting rivalries back, man.
Oh, that's gonna be a day.
So look, I think LSU splits one of these games between Alabama and Ole Miss, and I think they get Ole Miss. I think Bama's going to get him because I got a feeling, man. I got a sneaky feeling about Jalen Miro this year. Miro's going to go off this year. I'm telling you, bro. Kalen DeBoer is going to have that offense looking stupid, wicked, good.
Yeah, but defensively, man. I mean,
I know they are losing a lot, man. They are losing a lot.
I'm sorry.
But I know, man. I know. They are losing a lot.
Sorry.
They are losing a lot. I ain't going to lie. They losing a lot, man. But
you ain't wrong.
But man, it's just something. I'm telling you, man, something about Milroe. That kid's special, bro. He's special.
I really like Milroe as well. I got to see it from the pocket this year, but I think you will because DeBoer runs like I said, he runs such a college friendly offense. Dude, so it has some pro concepts in there, but he's not going to be like Tommy Rees where it's sporadic play calling where, okay, I think that you can take on this much, so I'm going to give you all this week. No, DeBoer puts a lot of the onus on the wide receivers. The wide receivers got to go make those plays.
But Alabama has it.
Offense.
They have it. And look here, I'm going to tell you something too about Alabama, right? Their line wasn't great last year. We understand it, right? They got better as the year went on, but they still got problems in that line. But the way that Kalen runs that offense, it's going to take a lot of pressure off that line because he's going to get the ball out quick, man. And just talking to Ty about this, Ty was saying that during the spring game, the head coach came up to Jalen and was like, dude, I understand you want to be the best quarterback ever, and I get it, and you want to work in your passing, but what are you special at? Running. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be hesitant. If it's there, take it. I'm telling you guys, I got a feeling Alabama is going to dish out some freaking punishment.
Is going to be nice, and he's going to be able to throw bumps. And I think he has a higher upside than Penix, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I still can't believe he went at number 8. The kid is hella talented, but 2 ACL tears, and we still doing this
Falcons,
even with those quarterbers.
It's the Falcons.
No, they drafted a running back last year, which was stupid as hell.
It's the Falcons, Chris.
You just hate DEIs, man.
You just hate. It's the Falcons, bro. They gave $180 million to a quarterback like 2 months ago and then go draft his replacement. That is the stupidest thing in the league. You need offensive linemen. They had plenty of them sitting. If I'm the Falcons, I trade back and get some linemen on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball, but they could have got plenty of picks for that.
Arthur Blank, if you ever watch this video for whatever reason, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, man. Hey, this your OU boy here.
Don't know either.
This your OU. Hey, he said, have you seen Bijan run? Yes, man. We seen him run. Chris, what are you smoking, Chris?
You know I had to take a shot.
What are you smoking, Chris?
Bijan is so good. He's one of the.
I had to take a shot, bro.
Chris smoking that Drake pack.
There's only one thing I've ever appreciated that came out of the University of Texas, and it's typically running backs, and that's it. I love Texas.
Y'all know what I was doing there. Nick
Chris smoking that Drake pack, Jay.
Yeah, he really
is. No, hey, man, but look here. Get back to LSU, right? So after Alabama, they split one of these games. I think they beat Ole Miss, and I think Bama beats them, right? And they go to Florida. I think they beat Florida. They beat Vanderbilt. And then the OU game is going to be interesting.
No, that's going to be one of Florida's only wins this year is LSU.
I don't see it. I don't see it. But look, the OU game is going to be interesting because we're going to know by this time what Jackson Arnold is, right? We're going to know exactly. And if he's special, oh, man, it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a hell of a game. But even if they split LSU, Bama and Ole Miss, and let's say they get beat by OU, dude, they're still 10-2 and they're in the playoffs. They're still 10-2 in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna say I don't see them losing 3 games. That could happen. But Brian Kelly, he still has, just like an ace up his sleeve, because he has to rebuild that defense. And you're not going to rebuild the defense from being one of the worst in the country until a top 50 defense in one season. It's just not. That's hard to do, man. It's hard to do. All right. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot to
pack in.
There's a lot to do. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Here it is right here. So Brandon Reese says, as an LSU fan, I wouldn't be surprised if that OU game is at night. It should be a good game, though. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a night.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a night game.
Chicken goes, Nino, if you can't swim, keep your ass out the pool. Milroy, run, young. Exactly, man. He gonna run, dude. He's gonna run. Frightening True says, you think Texas is going 7-5? Hell no.
Nah, he's talking to PG over there.
PG talking noise.
PG talking noise.
Gospel.
PG talk. He's stirring the pot down there.
Florida gonna need some scratch offs to break even after this upcoming season.
Hey, look,
that's a good one.
Saying.
That's a good one. I like that one. PG goes, I don't think they are beating Michigan and Georgia and Oklahoma and A&M are going to be toss-ups. It's very possible. I think, look, this is my opinion on Michigan. I think Michigan is going to be a very depleted team this year. And so I'm not saying I'm not worried about Michigan. It's going to be a hell of a game because it's at Michigan. I'm more worried about Georgia.
Georgia's going to – to me, I'm going to be honest. If there's 3 games I'd say y'all truly should be worried about. It's us, Georgia, and A&M. Us and Georgia because they're back-to-back.
Yeah,
you know which one of them's going to – but one of them's going to give you hell. And that's the sucky part. I think
both are. Both are. I'm sorry. Yeah. Both games gives hell. You know
and it's because of Oklahoma and Georgia being so close to each other as far as games. It's a rivalry, of course. We hate each other. We're gonna make it a game. But the fact that Georgia is right behind it, dog, it's one of those. It's gonna be a physical game both weeks.
And it's not even me being biased. Both teams are gonna be really good this year. They have a chance.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one. I say for us, it's Bama and LSU back to back like that.
Y'all got a tough schedule. Yeah,
we do. We have all the best teams in the freaking conference.
Placed for us though.
That is true.
Are perfectly placed for us.
That's the only thing that we got going for ourselves. Those bye weeks are in the right spot.
The toughest game right now. So those first 3 are going to be wins. They're going to be great tools to go into that Tennessee game. I think we beat Tennessee.
That Tennessee game going to be good.
I think we get
Nico versus Jackson.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I can't wait
about that. I can't
wait. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think this whole thing about, and this is what I need Tennessee to do, just like I need Missouri to do as well. Tennessee caught lightning in a bottle that second year.
Yeah,
third year didn't go so well. Jay, I'll let you rest.
They went 9-3.
They went 9-3, and it wasn't because of Milton.
They went 9-3.
They didn't have the quarterback in place.
Bum ass, but
that should tell you how good that system and that coach is.
Right, exactly.
He has a bum quarterback playing, and they still go 9-3.
I still feel like you already got the blueprint. You was going against that every day in practice for the last 2 years. You're going to be up for that game. That game is at home. The game that I would be more worried about, simply because we know what game is after that. I know that we're going to have a week off after that. However, the game that I'd be more worried about is at Auburn, to be honest with you, because I think that things are going to be humming down there. That is the K-State of this season to me, if I see any on this schedule, simply because I know that I respect Hugh Freeze. I'm not Ty, okay? Auburn by 40, Ty, if you're watching this. But like I said, I think that Auburn's going to be better. I don't think they're going to be competing for a playoff spot or anything like that.
But they're going to be a good team.
I've already seen what they're going to do against us. When I watched them against Alabama, when I watched Tennessee against Alabama, I saw the blueprint. They're going to run at us. They're going to run Peyton Thorne a lot. They're not going to put him in a lot of situations where he has to throw. And if he is throwing deep, he's going to be throwing to the Coleman kid, that 5-star wide receiver. Did y'all see him? Have y'all seen him yet?
Yeah.
That kid has morphed himself into that dude. Excuse my language, but that dude, he looks like a fucking dude out there. He's going to be good. But Yeah, Auburn. I think Auburn's going to be better this year, and I think it's just one of those games that just gives me an eerie feeling because they're going to come out there and play tough. They're not going to be great.
Stinks. It's one of those games that stinks. Just
smell it. It's just one of them really funky games where it's like going to Kansas. You're not really up for the game. You just
there.
You just there.
Yeah. But look here, though, man. Kim Hurst has a comment. He says Brian Kelly's a fresh out of water. He knows nothing about the South. Hey, I'm gonna kind of debunk that a little bit. Brian Kelly has recruited his ass off at LSU his first 2 years there.
He's doing well in that part.
I mean, he's going to be fine. He's going to get the talent there. You know. So I'm looking at his classes now. His first year, he finishes 5th in the country, right? And then his second year, 7th in the country, with a slew of 5 stars in both classes. And especially get him on the offensive line. He's going to build a team. I'm not worried about that. I think he's going to be fine. And he always surrounds himself usually with a pretty decent coaching staff. So Brian Kelly's going to be fine. Once he got that swamp people accent out of his system and he just started being himself, I think it turned out to be a little bit better, for him. So it was just, look, man, I'm from Louisiana. It's different down there, bro. It's just different. And so if you're not from the state, especially like Baton Rouge and New Orleans, it's just a different feel. I'm from Shreveport, and folks from New Orleans kind of make us feel like outsiders sometimes. Folks from Baton Rouge kind of make us feel like outsiders sometimes. So I can just imagine a dude that's not even from the area, right? And so once he got adjusted and just realized this is a job, right? And it's time to coach and it's time to recruit, he's going to be fine, man. He's going to be fine. He's brought in the talent. He has great classes. And if he has this year, I think right now he has a top class in the SEC right now, right? So he'll be fine. He
also brought in the right guys around him to be able to recruit in the area. He recognized where his deficiencies were, which I can give him props for that. The Bo Davis hire was huge.
It's huge, man.
It was huge.
Dude, I'm telling you,
because of the relationship. And like you said, Bo hates recruiting, but the relationships there is huge for him.
And not just that him hating recruiting. I'm telling you, he doesn't have to recruit there because those kids want to go to LSU.
Yeah, it's voodoo, man.
He doesn't have to recruit. The biggest thing is you go out there and hire and get a respectable hire like Bo Davis. You don't have to worry about him in different hotel rooms. I'll tell you that. So, if you know, you know. You don't have to worry about him in the room.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here. You something else. You something else.
I'm done.
I'm done too. I'm dumb too.
If you know, you know.
Get out of here. Get out of here. This is going to be interesting. Sooner Cowboy says that the loss of Bo Davis is going to hurt Texas this year. It's going to be interesting. I like Kenny Baker from all the reports. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, man.
Nick, y'all bone dry over there, boy.
No, man. People said that us getting Chris Jackson last year was going to be a downgrade. Look, Chris Jackson never coached college. He was a pro guy. That was an assistant wide receiver coach, and then he was like the wide receiver coach for Jacksonville for 1 year. And you're saying that this guy didn't have any experience. We had no problems getting wide receivers here at Texas, and we had no problems coaching.
Yeah, that's fine with the recruiting, but hell, he came there with a damn with Lamborghinis out there. The hell, you got to do
it doesn't matter. You got to develop them. Hey, did Xavier Worthy look better last year than his previous year?
No.
Yes, he did.
Not the same to me.
He looked a lot better last year than his previous year. Did A.D. Mitchell have his best season as a college athlete?
Yeah, because they was actually throwing it to him. He wasn't predicated on one player running jet sweeps, your tight end. Did
Jordan Whittington have his best season at Texas last year? I'm looking at 3 receivers that got drafted this year. I'm just asking because a lot of people said that X wasn't going to be a first-round draft pick, right?
Well, I mean, bro, come on.
He had his best season this year. Chris, he had his best season. He had his best season underneath his first-year head coach. And his first-year head coach recruited at a hell of a job this year, too. Getting a guy like Ryan Wingo. I'm just being honest, man. Like, he's recruited well. He's recruited well, and he has helped develop talent. That's one thing that I want to talk about, too, with Kalen DeBoer that people are getting on is saying that him at Alabama, well, he's never done it with his own talent. That's like the stupidest comment you can make. So, yeah, he's taking other people's kids that have gotten that coaching staff fired and gotten these people to produce. That is hard. That is not an easy feat to take a group of kids that got a coaching staff fired because they didn't produce and to make those kids play great. Sorry, guys. That's hard to do. So
Ryan,
Huh? I'm just being honest.
Hey, can we talk about that to end this at some point?
What's that?
Colorado, the whole Colorado thing, because I think I got something to say about that.
Hey man, hold on, man.
It's
Let me get out this. Hold on, okay, man. I gotta talk about this one, man. You know, look, man, I'm close with the Colorado thing, man. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead and split the beans, man. Go ahead, dog.
All right, let me go ahead. Look, okay. We pick and choose our fights. We do all this stuff and we say we believe. And I know I'll probably take some flack for this. Somebody gonna run this at some point. I don't get it. I'm confused on what we doing out here because everything. And I'm just saying that. Look, I love Prime, and I love what he's done and what he's meant for college football. What he did at Jackson State, coming to Colorado, reviving that program, everything that he's done. My biggest problem is that you kind of messing with that line. You playing a dangerous game because a lot of the stuff that you've been coaching and been promoting, you could go down the line with some of the stuff that you've been doing.
Yeah.
So it's hard coming from, because like, look, I'll be the first to admit, like, first year at my JUCO, really had a red shirt, work on my body, get ready. Second year came back, ready to hoop, was about to play, gonna be in a rotation. We was serious. Boom. Basically, I hyperextend my knee. I'm out for the longest. Just couldn't get it right till mid season, and shit is basically over. I did, but you understand those mental hurdles, those all the grind it takes to really prepare to get yourself to that level to be able to play, to be out there, to be considered to be on the field. But if it's coming out that we falling through cracks and we picking favorites and doing stuff like that, I just don't know, man, if I'm riding with that train anymore. So I don't know, man. I feel like just thinking about it from like a college player, it's one of those things where it's like, damn, would you really send your kid out there to play for Deion? Because right now in this day and age, it's hard to play it's hard to play college football for anybody. It's hard to play for Sark, hard to play for BV. It's hard to go out there and play for somebody like Prime, who not only is a legend, but is old school to the core and is bringing voices in that room like Warren Sapp, who are old school to the core. And I don't know if that's going. It's just there's some slippery slopes that's out there, and I'm saying this right here is that look, you can call the kid soft, you could call him this, you can say he's not that. I'm just saying, man, it's a slippery slope. That they're playing out there.
Chris, so. I'm with you, man. I was talking to my cousin who goes to where does David go to school at? He's in Monroe right now. I'm sorry. But I was like, look here, dude. Deion has to get off social media. You're the head football coach at a Power 5 conference. There is no retweeting a kid's post and saying, Jesus, law, kind of making fun of a kid's numbers. You got to be bigger than that, man. I'm sorry. You have to be bigger than that. And I'm a Deion fan. I'm rooting for Colorado every game, and sure you guys understand why. But look, man,
don't be Lane Kiffin.
Don't be lame, bro. Because first off, I hate to say it, you're not going to get the same opportunities Lane's going to get. You're not going to get those chances to do that in public and live them down. You're not going to get a second chance on that. People are wanting you to fail, Deion.
Yeah.
Don't give them bait. like all of college football wants to see you fail. And it's sad, but don't give them any fodder to add fuel to the flame. Don't.
Yeah, don't give them
Stay off social media. Colorado won 4 games last year, right?
Which is an improvement.
Which is an improvement.
No,
it's improvement. Oh, no, but look at this though. Texas won 5 games Sark's first year. Okay. Did you see Sark parading on social media talking about the kids trash because of the BV won how many games his first year? 7?
Well,
right?
6.
Okay, 6, right? So was BV on social media? Look, man, I understand. Prime, you don't have to do all the antics. You're Deion Sanders. Kids want to come play for you.
And I think that's where I agree with your premise. The problem is that a guy that has lived his entire life being the spotlight and being primetime, creating an alter ego because of his shining brightness of that, can't stop. It's like a drug. It's a narcotic that he cannot let go of. I am with you. He needs to. Yeah. He's not. He needs to do better. He needs to be more tactful with it.
Because I want to see him succeed.
Kids, right?
I want to see him succeed, but I don't want it to be to where everybody and their mother is against that team, because look here, man, it's not the kid's fault. It's not the kids this or or what it is. It's they're going to have to back their coach up, right? And you don't want the coach writing checks that you got to cash in a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially bad checks.
It's just the fact that, not this kid went viral and stuff, but just a week or so ago, McClain was saying the same stuff. And a lot of people are after that kid. My biggest thing is that will Prime be successful this year? I believe so.
I think so
he's
too.
Going to. I think the Big 12 is going to. The Big 12 itself has always cannibalized itself. So that's one thing. But at the same time, I think that the Pac-12, even on its way out, it went out on a high note because it was a really good league last year. I think we all have acknowledged that at some point that, hey, the Pac-12, they play some damn good football out there. They had a lot of good teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now, some of those teams are coming into the Big 12, but there's a lot of stories that are changing. Obviously, Jed Fisher is not there at Arizona anymore. We don't know what Baylor is going to be. We think Texas Tech could be the one. I've been on record as saying, I know people going to hate me for this, but I think O State should just run the Big 12 now. But then again, Utah is coming back and they ready.
Don't sleep on Utah.
But I think that Colorado has a chance with all the additions that they've gotten. But I think that it's not going to be hard to move past this. But this is definitely something that if you lose,
it's everything's on
the
you.
Volume gets turned up.
Dude,
so
it's
loud
turned
on
up.
He's got to make a bowl game this year.
Deion is
6 games, it's enough, but he's got to go to a bowl game.
Deion is betting. He is betting so hard on himself right now and his kids. He's betting hard on them right now, and I respect it, but I just think it can be done a little bit more tactfully.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how I always felt the entire time.
And that's all he has to do because look,
I got what Shador was doing. Shador was defending his dad in their name.
Like that's
what they
do. But not mad at it.
Please understand, it don't matter who you are as a coach, no matter what you are as a coach. Every coach out there, if they're doing their job, is having the same difficult conversation with a kid every off season.
But don't
people gotta understand you get a scholarship, that don't mean you back there next year. People clean house like crazy. They come in there and get rid of everybody and go to JUCO route for a year. Then they re-up with another recruiting class, and then you sitting there at home still trying to transfer somewhere.
Exactly.
The whole thing is that he does more. Just keep it in house. That stuff
keep it in house, man. That stuff should be in house. That's my only problem, is because when a coach of his stature and his ilk puts a narrative out about a kid, once he's Deion Sanders, man, like it's going to carry a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to carry a lot of weight because he's Deion, right? So, I just wish Deion. Look, I want them to be very successful. You guys know I want Colorado to be successful. I want them to win every game this year unless they play Texas, right? Because I got family ties in there, but I just think as a head coach at a Power 5 conference, there's some stuff that you got to be a little bit more buttoned up.
Yeah, do better, bro. That's really all it is. Do better.
Yeah. Got to be buttoned
up. I guess to end this, if y'all want to end it on this note, but I got another question for y'all. How many SEC teams, this is for the chat too, especially the chat, how many SEC teams make the playoffs next year?
4. 3 or 4. Hold on.
I was going to say 3. I was going to say at most 3. Because I think there's going to be 3 teams with at least 10 wins.
Okay, so I'm going to say 3 teams from the Big. I'm going to say 3 teams from the SEC then. That's 6, right? It's 12 teams total, right?
Just 12.
Yeah. I'm going to say Pac-12, they have 2 teams.
I'm going to say 1 team from the from ACC.
Yeah. I say 2 ACC and 2 from the Big. 12.
Nah. So 2 from the Big 10?
12. 3. Three.
Yeah.
I say 3 Big 10, 3 SEC.
That's 6.
2 ACC, 2 Big 12.
8. That's 8, and that's 2 from the Big 12 was 10.
Yep.
You got 2 more.
You got 2 more spots.
You're
going to have a G5. The G5 gets 1.
Who is the 3rd team in the Big 10, bro? Ohio State and Michigan, and that's it.
Oregon, probably.
Yeah, come on, big dog.
You got Oregon, you got Washington.
Yeah.
I don't think Washington goes.
No, it's gonna be Washington. It's gonna be Oregon.
Probably.
It's gonna be Oregon.
Yeah, I think Oregon makes it because Ned Lanning is doing masterful work.
Dude, the SEC could put 4 teams in. I'm telling you,
the SEC could put 4 teams in with the way that the committee picks. Some 9-3 team could go over you.
I'm telling you,
especially
Well, shit. Hey, let me look at the
and then you put 2 at large in there, right? But hell, by logic, at large. I'm saying at large, but I mean a G5. G5 could get at least one.
Notre Dame's going to get in. I think Notre Dame makes it.
Can they not lose 3 games this year? That's the thing.
I think they can this year. It's going to be weird, but I think Notre Dame gets one of them, and then G5 gets it. That's your 12.
All right, so here. Okay, so look here. This is going to be week 16. Let's look at week 15 rankings per the AP. All right, so look here. Top 12 teams last year. Number 12, Oklahoma. Number 11, Ole Miss. Number 10, Penn State. Number 9, Missouri. Missouri does not have a tough schedule this year, folks. Number 8, Oregon.
Cakewalk. They're going to lose all of them.
Number 7, Ohio State. Number 6, Georgia. Number 5, Alabama. Number 4, Florida State. 3, Texas. 2, Washington. 1, Michigan. Looking at last year, if they stopped at 12, right? You're looking at, without Texas and OU in the picture, they put 3 teams in. No, 4. They had 4 teams. They had Missouri,
6 total. Yeah.
Ole Miss, Alabama, and Georgia. Those are 4 of the top 12 teams in the SEC last year.
No, I agree with you.
That were in the top 12. So I'm telling you, I can see the SEC getting 4 teams in this year.
And I wish Steven and Ty were here. That's a good. Yeah, we may run this back. We may run this.
It's a good topic. This is a good topic, man, because look here. If you add Texas and like OU into it, that's 6 teams, bro. But of course, the schedules were easier. We didn't, think about it. Texas and OU didn't have the same schedule that Georgia and Alabama. Well, I shouldn't say Georgia. The SEC East is the SEC least, in my opinion. Now they got a real schedule this year. So it's going to be interesting. But no, ACC had Florida State. That was it. I'm telling you, man, ACC is going to probably get Clemson in this year. That's about it.
So what's Notre Dame's schedule?
But look at the big, you know what I'm saying? Like the Big Ten. Last year, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Right?
Dude, Notre Dame plays. They play A&M, which is probably a neutral site game.
Yeah.
They have Louisville, Florida State, and USC. That's only legitimate competition next season. They're not losing 3 games next year. They will go 10-2.
That's another topic, because I know we only going for an hour, but that's another topic. Nick, write that down whenever we all reconvene.
Hold on.
Are we buying Texas A&M stock or not? Because they've made some really good moves in the portal, and they've done some really good things around there. I'm sorry. El Cohen came and cleaned house, and I think he got things in order. Order.
I can't buy stock the first year, because cleaning house the first year is tough. It's tough to get up that first year after that, maybe the year after that. And their offensive line still sucks. I'm sorry. The offensive line is not that good. It was like Connor Wegman's going to be running for his life, and he's already hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with them. They got the talent. Their line just isn't good enough this year. They weren't good last year. I don't think they're going to be good this year. And he did. He cleaned house. People talk about Colorado and their transfer guys. They had 27 guys in the transfer portal this year. A&M had 26, right? So it's going to be hard, man, to replace that kind of talent. Want these guys to jail, right? Because we're giving them 4 months to jail. These guys have never played in a real game next to each other, right? So it's the same complaint I have about Ole Miss, right? It's the same thing I have about Ole Miss. You brought in a lot of guys, but is this going to be a bunch of talent thrown together, or is this going to be a cohesive team, right? So
good question.
I'm not going to buy their stock yet. The next year, I think that's when they take off. 2025 season. That's just my opinion. But A&M stock, I write it down for next week. A&M stock, and we're going to talk about playoff picture, right?
Yeah.
Playoff picture. It's going to be interesting, man. The playoff picture. I'm with you, Jay. I think Penn State can get it. I think Ohio State. I think Michigan, and I think
don't know.
I gotta look at their schedules. I gotta dig in the
because
schedules, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Here,
Notre Dame's going. I hate to say it, they're
going.
going.
Here's my parting shot with the Penn State, and yeah, with Penn State, that's a great place to kind of leave off. With Penn State, I don't know if they even if they go 9-3, I don't know if the committee awards them. I mean, I don't know if the committee puts them in the playoffs simply because, like I said, Nick, numbers lie. I mean, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. And I know you're a numbers guy.
Numbers can be altered.
But when it comes to
women lie, and numbers can be altered.
But when it comes to the eye test, they don't pass it. You look, even at 9-3. When have you looked at them and said, "Oh yeah, I if they were in the playoffs, they would do something"? And I think that's something that's about to. I think what happened last year with you guys in Florida State, I think that's going to be an ongoing thing from now on, especially now. I think the media has kind of catered towards that, and I think it's going to be a real thing. I think that you're going to have to, if you're going to be a 9-3 team, you're going to have to be convincing. And I don't know if them basically limping through the season at 9-3. I don't think they lose.
I don't think they lose 3 games. They play
and
Ohio
that's
State.
what I'm scared
that
Oregon, because what I'm saying is that if they lose Ohio State, Michigan,
they don't play Oregon. They don't play Oregon next year either. Penn State's schedule is very friendly.
Well, I'm just saying, for example, hypothetically, if they lose Ohio State and Michigan, and then let's say they lost to like a Texas A&M early in the season in non-con, but let's say that those are 3 really quality losses, and they only lost by like 3 points one game, 7 points here, and then they lost by 6 points the other game. Well, that's great, but the problem is, what if they go in there and against Maryland, they're beating Maryland, Indiana, they're beating those teams only by 3 points and a touchdown. That whole TCU thing is not going to work unless you're going undefeated.
No, but it will work to get you as one of the top 12 teams, right? I mean, look at Penn State's schedule, bro. West Virginia, dub. Bowling Green, dub. Kent State, dub. Illinois, dub. UCLA, dub. USC, that's going to be interesting because it's at look, interesting. Off week. Wisconsin. Is Wisconsin tough this year? They just lost their best wide receiver. They just lost their best running back this year. Are they going to be something special? I don't think so. Dub. You know what I'm saying? Ohio State. That's going to be interesting. Is Ohio State going to be who we think they are? Right? Is Will Howard going to be the guy? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting. They play Washington. Washington's not the same team from last year. Sorry, they're not. Purdue. They're going to beat Purdue. They're going to beat Minnesota. And they're going to beat Maryland. Bro, Penn State might go 11-1 next year. They got it. I mean, dude, look at the schedule. I just showed it to you.
There. Franklin is still there. I know Franklin will mess it off somewhere, and it may be starting the season. It may be over there with Glenn Brown.
They only lost, bro.
Or Neil Brown, excuse me.
They had a much tougher schedule last year, and they lost 2 games.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's Chris, last year. We talking about this year.
Chris,
look at this year.
This year. Chris, give me 2 teams. Give me 3 teams that they're going to lose to in the schedule.
Okay.
West Virginia. Is that a loss? Come on, Chris. West Virginia's not a loss. You know that.
At West Virginia, I don't know.
It's not a loss, Chris.
It was a crazy game last year.
It's not a loss, Chris.
Okay, all right.
Bowling Green, is that a loss?
No. They're going to well, let's just start where it really happens.
UCLA.
They're lose at USC.
They're
going to lose Ohio State.
Okay,
that's
for
2. Sure.
That's 2. Okay, go ahead.
And then I would say if they slip up somewhere else, it definitely would be Washington.
They're not going to lose to Washington. They don't have their
Washington's
coach.
got a lot to redo. I mean,
they don't have their coach.
I don't think Jed Fish is a bad coach. It's going to be interesting.
Not Fisher. Jed Fish and Will Rogers will get it. I think they'll be all right because it definitely ain't going to be these last Rogers.
Dude, they don't have their coach, and they lost their top 3 wide receivers and their first-round quarterback and their offensive line, and the other guys transferred to Bama. Washington is, yesterday's prices ain't today's prices at Washington. It's not. They're not losing to Washington.
All right.
Bro, they got 2 losses on their schedule tops. And if they only have 2 losses, they're going to the playoffs, bro. They're going to go to the playoffs.
I'll remember this, Nick. Trust me, I'll remember this. Ask Jay.
Hold on real quick. Let's look at Penn State. I want to see Penn State's schedule from last year. My bad. I just want to see what the scores were last year. And then after that, we can get up out of here.
All right, PG. I'll take that bet, PG. I'm going to eat my steak right in front of you.
What do you say? Ranch on the steak? What do you say? Yeah, Chris, I will put a ranch steak. I thought he said he gonna put some ranch on the steak. Come on, PG. Don't do me like that. Don't do that, PG. All right, let's look at 2023. All right, so 2023 season. Let's look at how Penn State did. 2023. Okay, so they beat West Virginia 38-15. That's not close. They beat Delaware. They beat Illinois. They beat Iowa. They beat Northwestern. They beat UMass. They lost to Ohio State 20-12. Man, that's not a beatdown. That's a rock'em sock'em game, bro.
Yeah, Kyle McCord was the quarterback, and I blew that one. That was it.
But guess what? Will Howard's their quarterback this year. Will Howard's their quarterback this year. Is it any better?
Huh?
Will Howard is their quarterback this year, right?
I don't know what Will Howard we gonna get. Is it gonna be the one that was setting people on fire? Is it gonna be the one that's always been there? Average and bum. He's pedestrian.
Like I said,
I don't know.
Like I said, that's going to be a close game. They beat Indiana. They beat Maryland. I mean, Maryland, come on, 51-15. They beat, Michigan beat them 24-15. Remember, that was a very close game. That was a close game. Then they beat Rutgers and they beat Michigan State. Bruh, I'm telling you, bro, they're going to only lose 2 games this year, tops. They might only lose 1 game this year to Ohio State. They might only lose 1. Serious. The Big is not that tough of a conference, man. They're top heavy. They got 3 teams over there. Well, now they got Oregon. They got 4 teams over there now that can really compete right now. I don't think USC is going to compete next year. I just don't think I have to see it to believe it. All right?
Bro, I think USC or UCLA competes next season.
And they don't play Oregon next year, and they don't play Michigan.
You believe a lot in Franklin. And
I didn't say I believe a lot. Jeez. Dude, Franklin and Lane Kiffin, we said this plenty of times. They're the same coach, right? But at least Franklin has some signature wins.
You say
he has a signature win, right? You know what I'm saying? And he's not playing he went 10-2 last year. He lost to the big dogs. That was it. He beat everybody he's supposed to beat. 10-2. And he doesn't play Oregon next year. He doesn't play Michigan next year. His toughest challenge ain't nobody but damn Ohio State. What you laughing at, bro?
What Sean put up there? Look at what Audie could have.
Huh? What did he put up there? Bowling Green gonna have a whiteout game just to be.
I'm just saying, man.
Y'all crazy. Let me get this off my screen. I think Will Howard will be a threat. All right, we out.
All
right, man. Deuces. We'll holler at y'all later. Man, hey, get out the screen. Put them horns up. There you go.